Hi there, Stephanie Ray, Accountability Evangelist, here to speak to you today about owning your motives. This is a really important part of accountability. This is when you acknowledge and follow through on the fact that you have choices on how you behave, the actions that you take. So, I'm going to give you a few examples to illustrate. First, a work example. If you are in an organization that has performance reviews, a specific process for that. And let's say your organization sets a deadline of January 31st and it is mid February and you've heard nothing from your supervisor about your performance review. What you do next is based on your motive. If your motive is to get feedback, is to know how you're doing, where you stand, what you're doing great, what you need to continue doing, what you need to stop doing, what you can improve on, etc., then likely your next action is to contact your supervisor and request a meeting to review your performance. Now, on the other hand, if your motive is to prove that your boss missed a deadline and they owe you a performance review, and they should have done your performance review by now, then actions you might take include the following: nothing, telling everyone but your supervisor about this issue that you have, gossiping with other coworkers, complaining about the supervisor, posting on Facebook about it, you name it. I'm exaggerating only slightly because these things actually happen to make a point. If your motive was feedback and getting feedback, then you would approach your supervisor a different way than you would if you just want to prove that they were wrong and to get them in trouble. So, that is not to say, by the way, that if you choose the high road, of course, which is owning your own motives and having a solid motive, a good faith motive of wanting feedback, and you choose to contact your supervisor, even though you know that quote should have happened, then that doesn't mean your supervisor is off the hook per se. You have every right, and I encourage you to, when you sit down with your supervisor, say, hey, this is really important to me, and I noticed that we missed the deadline. So, what can we do next time to make sure that we get this done on time? That is just a suggested approach for this. So I'm not exonerating supervisors out there who are late on getting their stuff done, particularly stuff that has to do with employees. I'm just trying to make the point that, you have a choice in the matter on what you're going to do. So that's a work example. A personal example might be probably a parallel example to what I just said. Let's say there's a friend that you always call. You're the one who always initiates the call. You check in with them, you call them every month, every week, or whatever. They never call you. If you stop calling them, you'll never hear from them. Here's another circumstance where you have to own your motive. What do you want to do about this? You could be resentful. And if you choose to be resentful, that's a choice you make, in which case your behaviors are going to be different. You can choose, though, to repair the relationship. This person clearly doesn't know. I would doubt they don't care, but they don't know how much it means to you. They may not even realize that you're the one making all the initiative here because you're always doing it. They're just kind of taking it for granted. So your option in that situation, among other options, is to have a conversation with them and let them know, hey, I've noticed that if I don't call you, I don't hear from you. And I really would like this to be a little bit more balanced. How can we make that happen? Because I really care about our relationship and I know that you do too, but it just feels a little lopsided right now. So, those are just some options. I'm giving you some language that you can borrow. But really, the point of this conversation is to say, when you are accountable, you own your motives. So when something's happening to you, how you respond to it starts with what you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to prove that you're right and else is wrong, you're going to act one way. If you're just trying to get the information you want, you're going to act another way. If you are really 100% dedicated to a specific relationship, then you're going to act another way. So this is something for you to think about. Accountability is a lifelong pursuit. It isn't easy, especially when it comes to owning your motives. So I encourage you to stick with it, keep practicing this skill. It is a skill, yes, that you keep needing and getting to practice to get better at it. And because how life goes, you're going to have plenty of opportunities to practice.